Welcome to Increase, where it is my task to increase, illustrate, and inundate you with information, knowledge, and overall help cause you to think. And I'm your host, Alpheus Gibbs Sr. Hey, good afternoon, and welcome to Increase, where we are here to bring you information that will take you and your situation to the next level. I'm your host, Alpheus Gibbs, and today our topic is 3 tips to being an active leader. Um, no one wants to be under a leader who seems to be very absentee. You know, the kind that is always, you're always having to look for them, the kind of leader that you're always just saying, I don't want to be like that guy or that gal. I don't want to be like them, you know, but I want to climb up the ranks. The kind of person who gets the job done, but really doesn't have the soft skills and the ability to really pull out the hidden gems inside of their team. So today I just want to give 3 small tips that's going to bring you, or possibly even the leader that is around you who will watch this, bring them to a better place of being an active leader. And one thing I want to define is what an active leader is. An active leader is that leader who you want to emulate one day. That leader who is not just barking orders at you, but really are the kind of leader who you see working as in the grind, who don't mind getting dirty, who doesn't mind sharing information so that you who work under them, who are being led by them, are able to go to that next level. So I wanted to share this with you because I've been under, bad leaders. I've been under great leaders, and throughout all of it, I took some hidden gems from them, and I just wanted to share those with my audience. So the first thing you need to be, the first tip is to be an active listener. An active listener, being going beyond just saying this is what I think you said, or am I understanding you correctly, but truly having that in-depth conversation with your team, with the people that are around you, so that not only you understand what they are saying, but you're able to see the vision or to see the product on the project the way that they see it. Sometimes we're around people and they're able to recite what you said, but they really don't see your vision. They really don't see where you're coming from. Sometimes their attitude gives you the notion that they really don't care, but they just want you to know that I heard what you said. And but when you are an active leader, you are a leader who not only hears what is said, but you take the necessary moments to really begin to visualize what someone is saying. One of my favorite movies is 300, and in the midst of the movie, Leonidas is met with someone who doesn't look like he should be a soldier, doesn't possibly even have the physicality to be anything other than who he is. But he has vital information that could have saved the lives of many. And because Leonidas looked upon him with the physicality that he had, and began to kind of pass a judgment on him, he listened to what he said, or he heard what he said, but he could not visualize where this man was coming from. And because of it, it caused them to have setback after setback after setback. As a leader, you don't have time to be wasting. You don't have time to waste, and you don't have resources to waste. So one of the things that you definitely want to do is to make sure that you are utilizing every ounce of resource and availability that you have for that moment. And as an active listener, you will begin to hear what it is that your team is trying to say to you. You'll also be able to maneuver in a manner in which your team will have confidence in you just as much as you have confidence in them. When your team believes in not only your ability, but they see that you have um, faith and trust in their ability, then everyone comes to the table and they don't mind sharing their idea because they know that their leader is listening to them. They understand that their manager, their supervisor, their pastor, whomever, is able to take the nuggets that they get, and they're able to move about and accomplish the goal sometimes even quicker than before. As an active leader, you want to make sure that you are not just listening to those who are popular, those who don't seem like they cause you any trouble, but you even want to listen to those individuals who seem like they're always into something. You may even, especially those who you consider to be lazy, because the person who is lazy on your team is always going to find a way to get the job done quicker with less work, because they themselves have proven to you that they don't want to do various meaningful tasks that is given. So you want to make sure that when you are in front of your team, or in front of someone who you are leading, that you are listening to the various things that they have to say. Visualize it in your mind what they're saying. Visualize as they're talking the various points that they're bringing in. Even if it seems like it's minuscule, even if it seems like it's not going to work out, even if you deem it or feel like it's just nonsense. You want to make sure that you are hearing them, because it could be the very thing that become your Achilles. You don't want your team, or you don't want the project to fall apart because the one area that you just passed off as nothing end up being the most crucial thing about your project, about your business, especially you who are entrepreneurs and you're just starting out. You want to make sure that you are listening not just to your employees, but you also want to listen to your customer, because not only are they telling you what product is great, they're also telling you the products that needs to be improved. Look at the apps that you have on your phone, and when you look at them after such an amount of time you've been using it, they ask you, rate my app, rate your experience. Do you give it a 1 star? Do you give it 2, 3, 4? Do you give it 5 stars? Then write us a comment. Tell us about it, because they want to actively listen to what the audience has to say, especially when they are starting out. because they want to make sure that they get as many downloads as possible. They want to make sure that their product gets in front of the eyes of as many people as possible, because that is the determining factor if they're going to get a rate on their investment, or if they have produced something that's going to flop. And so it is imperative that they listen to the individuals who they're talking to, but they must be active. They must put forth an effort in order for them to achieve in that area. The second thing that I believe that second tip that you need to be an active leader is to remember and use the person's name. You know, Jim Quick is a motivational speaker, but he is known for remembering 40, 50 of his audience members' names. And they are blown away by the fact that he just met them and is able to remember their name. It's so often you hear and you see people who, work for a person, months and years, and the leadership never remembers their name. Just something so simple as their name. When you call a person by their name, it puts inside of them and lets them know that I'm important. I'm just not a person that is here, but that I have meaning in this organization, in this business, in this person's life, even if it's insignificant, even if it's small, or even if it's great, that the point that they remember my name. You know, oftentimes, you meet a waiter or waitress at a restaurant, and you're so busy wanting to get your order out and get your drinks and make sure you everyone gets their appetizers, that you oftentimes don't even remember the waiter or waitress's name. How do we know that? Because when it's time for you, you need napkins, or you got your drink but you didn't get a straw, and you go, Miss or Sir, excuse me, but they have a name and they gave it to you in the beginning. But when you call them by their name, they're more attentive to you. They're more attentive to the table. They're able to pull down their walls and their barriers, and they want to communicate with you because you took the time. Though you are hungry, though you're in the company of your family or your friends or business partners, that you are there and you remembered their name. Not only did you remember it, but you begin to actively use it. You begin to use it so that now it's not just something that you recalled because you just heard it, but you begin to use it within a sentence. You begin to formulate them within your life and within the scope of the time that you have. And because of it, it encourages them that even though they're working and even though some people look down on them because of the position that they have, but it gives them a sense of being and strength that oftentimes it is missed and left out. I want to encourage you to begin to remember the names of not just your secretary, not just the lawyer or your accountant, but begin to remember the name of the person who is the security guard, the janitor, the people who you kind of just see in the shadows that's passing by. Begin to remember those people who you don't even have a real relationship with, but you may see them in passing. Remembering their name also signifies now that they can now associate you with the brand. They can begin to associate you with the business. They can associate you with the church or whatever. And because of that, they go, you know what? Even when they don't know who I am personally, they remembered my name. I'm going to check them out. It is in those small nuances that really begin to open up and expand relationships that you have. One thing is for certain, when you think and you look back on the comments that are made about Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A food may taste whatever, it tastes normal to you. There may be nothing, grandiose about it. But the one thing that they have down pat is customer service. And as a leader, you want to make sure that you are going above and beyond the customer service that you are asking those who work under you to give out. You want to make sure as a leader that you are putting out what you're also requiring of others. And how is so great to have a leader who remembers their name, who has a manager who just say, hey, you, or they call you by a nickname that they created because they fail to put forth any effort to remember your name. The same way we can remember difficult names of people from different countries. You can remember the name of individuals who are right there, who are there to help support and bring to fruition your thoughts and your dreams. Lastly, you want to reassure your team. You want to make sure that you are letting your team know that you are appreciative of what they bring, and then begin to challenge them by reassuring them that they have the necessary skill set to bring to pass what you're asking them for. As a leader, oftentimes you have to go and begin to remind your team of what their resume truly is. You're like, hey, you've done this and that before. You can do this, because there's not that much of a difference. And so you begin to assure them that you trust them to handle the task at hand. Because let's be honest, all of us go through times where we may feel like we're not able to do any kind of task or a certain task. And so it's nothing like someone who is your manager, your supervisor, or your pastor, or whatever, that is able to come in and reassure you that they trust you, that they believe in you, and that they know that you're able to do it. You want to go in and begin to let your team know that the success that you have is not just based on you barking orders, but because they have been hand chosen and were picked to work with you and for you to complete the jobs that come your way. You want them to know that you're an active leader, that you are there with them, and that they can put their trust in you just as much as you are putting your trust in them. So the three tips for being an active leader is to listen, to actively remember and use their name, and then to reassure your team. You want to listen to what they have to say, visualize it, begin to try to understand where they're coming from. You want to remember their name and begin to use it so that they know that they're just not another cog in the wheel, that they are a part of a team that is accomplishing something that is greater than themselves. And you want to reassure them in those moments when sometimes they're not assured that they're able to complete a task. There's nothing like when you're under those pressure moments that someone could come in and encourage you by reminding you of your importance. As an active leader, you want to, again, not only lead by being in front of the people, but you also will put the people in front of you and allow them to discover even the more about themselves. That's what makes you a difference between a leader and a manager, because you're not just managing lives and managing a project, but you want to lead them to innovation. You want to lead them to self-discovery. You want to lead them to a place where they're able to take what they may see, what they may feel like is just another skill set, and truly bring it to flourishing, truly begin to allow it to morph into what they not even could ever dream of, because you believe in them, because you have actively placed your trust in them. To be active is to be mobile, to move, to shift, to be innovative when times get difficult and rough. So these three tips, I hope that they help you. I hope that you're able to take your organization, your team, your church to the next level by just using these three simple tips that will take you and your team to the next level. You guys have an amazing, amazing day. Enjoy your weekend. And I look forward to seeing each and every one of you right here on Increase Monday and Friday at 1 p.m. You all have a great day. Peace.